I think you know, if you've seen the other videos, that walking around aimlessly is something I do enjoy doing, and especially today when we're experiencing one of the few real enough winter storms this year in our area. Other years we'd be walloped by now. It's mid-February, but this year it's been pretty mild. Anyways, I love storms, especially winter storms. Unless you are unfortunate to have vehicle issues, or you kind of have to really get somewhere, you're at an airport, there's a bunch of circumstances where I absolutely hate it. But largely I just love when the sky opens up, and it's a very, very special characteristic of where we live. It's been about a week since I've had my first lung surgery. It went well enough. They use a technique called video-assisted thoracic surgery, that or thoracoscopic surgery. It's sort of like laparoscopic surgery, where it's done with a tube and smaller incisions. In any case, they're hoping to nip one of the offending growths in my right lung and just cut a little wedge, and they were hoping that would be enough, which would have caused relatively modest or minor disruptions to my lung function. But unfortunately, once they got inside, they realized the position and the shape of the growth made that unsuitable, so I received what is called a lobectomy, which is the full removal of an entire lobe, or a significant section. So 1/3 of my right lung is now gone. I was already advised that should not be a big deal, because the human body is a resilient wonder, and I should be able to get reasonable lung function back, nearly full for any normal day-to-day activity for somebody my age. Anyways, it went surprisingly well. And I'm looking for a better word than well, but it went surprisingly well. Within basically a few hours, I was able to walk around without too much distress, and in fact, within half a day, I could, on my own strength, walk the entire hallway of the hospital. I lucked out, and I got a roommate in my hospital room who was absolutely the world's loudest snorer. And I have known some amazing snorers in my time, and you know who you are. This was spectacular, and I got no sleep when I desperately needed it, so I decided to walk around. Anyways, even from that point on, I was able to regain my lung function through various activities like this little game where you inhale and use your lung strength to elevate these balls, and within one day I was able to get it to the level that they really want you to get to eventually. But I guess I did a pretty good job. I feel great. It's been now about a full week since everything was done, and I'm able to walk around on my own, function pretty well normally. So I've now walked about 1 kilometer. I am now in a place called Waterloo Town Square, and behind me you'll see something we call a Zamboni that cleans off the ice where people skate in our town square. Anyways, all of that happened, or I'm able to do all of that still without a heck of a lot of fuss, and it will be another 4 or 5 weeks before I enter the next surgery where they will remove a full lobe on my other lung. That was always the plan. Now, in the meantime, I will get a much more fuller diagnosis of the actual nature of the particular state of my disease, of my illness at the moment. So the thing that obviously that a lung lobectomy does is it gives you the entire mass, and you can then slice and dice it and really look at all of the particulars of the illness. So there may be news, good news, bad news, who knows, some type of news coming in. But the reality of this illness now is it is mine to keep. We're just not sure how many bumps in the road we're going to see and just how long that road is. One of the good things about surgery, it kind of goes away once you heal. It sucks when you're going through it. As I first discovered with my abdominal surgery, this one isn't terribly bad. Like I said, my body gained strength. And short of another bump in the road with the second surgery, I expect to have at least a few months of very strong health. And that will align with our spring and summer, which will allow us to do some really fun things. And the great news is I am absolutely retired now. No screwing around with consulting and keeping myself busy. I do or not do whatever the hell I feel like doing or not doing. And that is a really cool feeling. So the other bit of good news through all of this is the fact that there is a surgical option. We are interpreting that as the best news of all. We have an imperfect medical system here in Canada. For me, it has worked miracles, but for an awful lot of people, it doesn't. But for some reason, an entire string of highly specialized, and let's face it, expensive specialists determined that spending time with me is worth it. Not because I'm such a wonderful guy, but I have good chances of making good outcomes happen. We're going to hold on to that as a source of optimism. And Sharon and I have talked about that an awful lot. And it's real, it's meaningful, and certainly helps me get through an awful lot of moments. So this is round 2, or as I'm calling it, Cancer 2.0. It feels very different this time around. Definitely the people around me are much more freaked out this time around for good reasons, I suspect. But in general, even for myself, as I now think about this being a much longer road and a much tougher road than I ever imagined, there are many more thoughts that go through your head, and some of the biggest questions that you could ask of yourself, of everything. Those questions just seem that much more complex, convoluted, confounding. So that is the reality. I certainly don't have any answers or any responses other than kind of stuff that I've been sharing with you so far. And I don't know if I will ever get there to any satisfying answer. This is not one of those things where I expect a clean conclusion. But it is good to know that I've been able to find things like these walkabouts, like snowstorms, great Canadian winter storms, like reflecting on all the amazing things that I've been able to do, if not achieve, throughout my life. All these things are absolutely helpful. So, in the past little while, our family has learned to take an awful lot of things one step at a time, 1 month at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, and I suspect it might even get more granular as time goes on. So we go with that. We have a playbook of sorts that we go by. Maybe not a plan per se, but we keep going. So I'm actually now back home, and it's been a great walk, and I will see you again soon. Bye.